As you now have seen, I finished my Let's Play of Pikmin, and I always had that idea that when I finish an LP or Let's Play, I'm going to refer to LP throughout, I would review it and make funniest moment videos. Since I never got around to completing one before this, I've never done it. So the funniest moments videos are already up. And now it's time for the review. Yeah. So I guess this will be the Virgin Run. Please, please don't let this be like Titanic. Don't you guys just hate it when a big rock crashes your ship out of nowhere and you just crash land on a foreign planet? Yeah, I hate those Mondays. Pikmin is a game developed and published by Nintendo in 2001 with my homeboy Shigeru Miyamoto as the producer. What even was that? And Shigefumi Hino and Masamichi Abe as the head developers. I'm sorry if I butchered those names. I don't speak Japanese. Me personally, I played through the GameCube version, but luckily this game was later released on the Wii in 2009 or 2008 if you lived in Japan, I guess. Yeah. And even later it was released on the Wii U Virtual Console. There are some system differences between them, like the use of motion controls and stuff like that, but I will not cover any of those since I am focusing on the GameCube version that I played. So, if by some chance I open some eyes, there is a huge possibility that you can get your hands on this game. Hopefully, we will even get the release on the holy console of them all, the most amazing thing ever made, the the Nintendo Switch. But enough about that. I will review this game by 10 categories. Each category can get a total of 1 star. And the categories I will go through are graphics, sound, story, gameplay, difficulty, characters, stuff to do, bosses, the world, and last but certainly not least, my enjoyment of this game. So, without further ado, let's jump straight in to the story. First off, the story. Olimar, the guy you play as, gets hit by an a meteor, and crashes onto the hostile planet known as Uncharted Planet? Huh. Guess we never got around to this sector before. Oh, I know, that means that I get to name this planet! Now, let's see here. Weird things called Pikmin, named after resource we have at home called Pick carrots. Are found here. They live in onions that does not look anything like any onion I have ever seen. I get a fruit related vibe from this place. It's peaceful, quiet. I know, let's call this thing berry, since from space it looked like a berry. Yeah, that has a certain ping to it. Guess I should not name any more planets. I suck at it, sorry. Anyway, we discovered that our spaceship is a total disaster. We lost a total of 30 parts in that meteor crash. And so now we need to fix our trusted SS Dolphin. Dolphin, by the way, is also the theme used in various other GameCube games, since the console was called Project Dolphin before release. I mean, the system GameCube was called, if that wasn't clear, I don't know. And to fix our SS Dolphin, we're gonna need some help. But luckily, we bump into Miguel and his squad of pimped up friends. And together, we must secure all the 30 very important ship pieces. All of them are highly, highly, highly important to get us out of this atmosphere. And at long last, I found the final part. My secret safe. And it's as full as ever. How glad I am that I persisted in my search without losing hope. Now I can leave this planet without any regrets. Maybe I'll even stop and pick up some souvenirs for my wife and kids back on planet Hakute. You mean that we stayed on this godforsaken planet for so long because you wanted to pick up your piggy? You wanted to pick up this? That's the thing you wanted to pick up. I guess we won't need all of the 30 parts to get back to our drug-addicted son and our daughter that we figure is a prostitute. I guess we actually only need 25 essential parts to fly. Oh well. And to do that we have 30 days to get all the parts before our suits. And we have 30 days to do that before the suit's ventilation system fails and the poisonous oxygen kills us. So I guess this game takes place in China? Question mark? Which gives us 3 endings. The one where we find our life savings, the one where we must leave without it, or the one where we die and our search in and the one where we die in our search and turn into a Pikmin. What? What the hell? I guess it's alright if we turn into a black Pikmin. Sure, whatever. What the fuck? What in the blue hell shit? What the actual living fuck? Why are we a black Pikmin? Story gets a 1 star easily. No loopholes, no nothing, straightforward and easy to follow. Can't ask for more in a simple RTS game, based on being stranded alone on a planet. I found the Nova Blaster. This emits a dazzling, I like that word, dazzling burst of light, capable of destroying almost anything. I'm not exactly sure about this, but the promotional brochure claims that its blast can travel in the currents of space-time, smashing through stars and into rifts of space. Yeah, I found automatic gear. This thing chugs right along on its own pace. It makes piloting much easier, giving me the time to concentrate on the finer points of space traveling. Isn't piloting one of the most important parts of space traveling? Is this the part that made you crash into a meteor because you weren't steering your ship? Olima, that is just plain wrong. And no, wait. You mean that this thing could not even destroy a meteor, and we autopiloted, and this no, it's all falling apart. No. Oh, what even is this? Well, I guess this is what you get for trusting a shady Hawkitation eBay merchant. Story gets a half star. What even is this? Like I said, we play this on the GameCube, so the 2001 version to be exact. Not that the graphics are any better on the virtual consoles and stuff, at least not very much. Is kind of a bit more sleek, I guess. Oh, here I go talking about the system differences when I said I wouldn't. But with that in mind, the graphics are not really that bad. The enemies look clean, except for some enemies, I guess, like goddamn silver wally wogs, sheer grubs or something. Not really sure. They all look okay. Not so, yeah. But the water, oh my god, the water especially, it looks amazing. I just want to sit and slurp on that water all day long. I can almost taste the taste of water in my mouth. And the grass texture is a bit pixelated, and the Forest Navel is not really that pretty to look at. It's kind of boring and bland. But that is just nitpicking overall. The only real problem I have is Almer's picture from the bottom layer. That is just a straight up zombie and looks awful. And also kind of the Pikmin display. also not very good looking. However, overall I give the graphics 1 star. And just so I get this straight for future references, graphics in my opinion does not mean anything for the game. So unless there is a blatant graphical glitch or the graphics take away from the gameplay, this category will always get 1 star. Graphics do not matter one bit. And to continue with all the praise, oh, here it comes, the sound section. Oh my God, this thing is beautiful to listen to. No kidding, I have downloaded this soundtrack and I listen to it constantly. Whenever I work and stuff like that, the soundtrack is phenomenal. If you didn't already pick that up by watching my LP. I praised it a lot there. Did you guys even watch my Let's Play? Well, what? Oh, I'm fine. You can leave now. The door is right behind you. Just close this tab and leave. Please don't do it. I need you here, please. Well, I just strongly advise that you go out and listen to the soundtrack. Hajime Wakai, the composer, did a phenomenal job. 1 star, enough said. Let's move on. But as good as this has been so far, I have some problems with the gameplay of this game. It's easy enough to understand: pluck and throw with A, whistle with B, color segregate with X, open map with a Y, control the camera with R and L and C, and move around the Pikmin with a control stick, and command them in various directions with the yellow C button. So the controls work out great. However, the AI is stupid as all hell. I mean, look at this. Whoa, dodging skills. Dodging. Dudes, what is wrong with you? What are wrong with you? Nope, no, fuck, shit, fuck, stop picking the flowers. This is stupid, and the Pikmin is way too easily distracted. If you just walk past a pellet flower or grass, stones or geysers, then they just know. Then you just know your Pikmin will attack / do stuff with that. Just like, oh, you want us to actually do some work and go pick up your ship parts? Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Olimar. No can do, senor. No can do. Also, when you want Pikmin to do stuff automatic, like carrying the pellets when you destroy the flower, then they don't. They just stand there and go back to you. Or something. They don't automatically think that, oh, let's just pick this up. Nah. The AI ain't good enough for that. Just run back to you. And when you get the prey back to the onion, the seeds take forever. I mean, we have 13 minutes to get through a day, if I can remember correctly. And then they want to use like 15 of them to wait for a sprout to get off of the ground. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So the seeds take forever to sprout into pluckable state. And that was a very weird thing to say. Huh. Also, sometimes it's like the enemies are invincible. Not sure why that is, but it's at least happening to me when I swarm the bugs. Not sure if that is like GameCube version or emulator version or whatever, but that's the problem I had to deal with, okay? Okay? At least I like the problem managing state of this game. With items taking different amounts of Pikmin to carry back, and the different Pikmin being able to handle different hazards. Red can handle fire, blue is amphibian, water thingies, blue is amphibian, water thingies, and yellows can be thrown high and carry bomb. That doesn't really have that much use outside of the final bosses and get down a couple of walls. Yeah, they do not really have a good purpose here. Oh, and the red have high attack power. Can't forget those. Gameplay receives half a star. Sorry. There's no way of changing the difficulty in this game, so what you see is what you get. However, since this is a children's game, in quotation marks, it is pretty easy. The challenge comes from trying to multitask and get the faster time overall, since this game is kind of built like an arcade experience. So if you want a hard game, guess you'll have to find yourself something else. Not every game has to be Dark Souls, okay? Even though that did not exist yet, so I do not really have any problem with this being an easy game. Never played Dark Souls either, so I just jump on top of a meme here, okay guys? Sorry, don't attack me. The door is right there. If you're angry with me, leave. No, please, actually, do not leave. I want you to watch this. I need you to watch this. For me though, I would have wanted a few hard bosses. That is the only thing. The bosses here, it's pretty easy for the most part. No, they just take time. And if you are careless, you can lose all of your Pikmin. Well, anyway, as you can see now, everyone turns into Zombie Miguel. And they start attacking me. So, remember this, kids. Don't do drugs. You'll turn into zombies. As Zombie Miguel would say, it's a hell of a ride. And then you die, because a zombie outbreak will kill you. Just so you know. But not really gonna happen a lot. Difficulty gets a 3 out of 4 stars. Now, you play as Olimar, the father of a prostitute and a meth addict. A real family man there, boy. You are met by the star team of Miguel and his compadres. Those are really the only people you meet. But the personality you see through the post-day memos and Olimar's speech about the party finds are super cool. But it lacks a bit, like more characters and more personality from the Pikmins that I know will come in future games. And yes, when I review these games, I have the luxury of seeing them in hindsight of later releases. So of course, I'm gonna judge them out of that. So the character gets half a star. So sorry again, but sometimes truth is a harsh mistress. Now, this is a video game after all, so what exactly can you do in this game? There are 2 modes for you to pick between, story mode and challenge mode. The story I've already said my piece on, but other than collecting the 30 parts of sprouting Pikmin, there aren't really much else to do. But of course, this is kind of built as an arcade experience like I already said, where they encourage you to play through it multiple times to get a better high score, sprout more Pikmin, faster clear time, less death and all that jazz. But ain't nobody got time for that. So, instead you wanna go to challenge mode. And going into it, we are met by this fancy disco song. Oh, I forgot how funky this one was. Now, the impact side, the force of hope, the force of the distant spring, and the fun try. All the 5 areas that we have visited has now got a new twist and turn of it, which is also kind of an arcade experience, just more boring. You spread as many Pikmin as possible in one day. You can choose from all of the areas you've been to throughout the game, and there are various new enemies and stuff like that. It's not just the same old scenery. But I don't really like this. It's kind of a lackluster, in my opinion, with both modes and what you can do. But I like the story mode, so I will only penalize the challenge mode, which is boring. And since it's only 2 modes, and challenge mode gets 0, I have to give stuff to do half a star. Now, let me ask you, what is a game without a boss? An obstacle so big and bad that only you, or in this case the Pikmin, can take it out. Well, Pikmin is a total of 8 bosses, if you count the Mamuta as a boss in this game. It says so on the Pikmin wiki, so I'm gonna go with it. And you have to slay them all. 3 of these bosses are optional, so if you want to go out of your way and slay them all, you can do that. Now, these bosses range from laughable easy to, oh my god, what in the eons are this? My memory served me wrong on a couple of these bosses, especially the fun boss and Puffstool. So, yeah, they're in that range. Like, the Puffstool could fuck you up majorly. But you can also make it laughable easy. So, it's kind of in the middle, I would say. Some of the bosses hold ship bars, that makes them mandatory. Like, that is why they are not an optional boss. Whilst some only holds items for growing more Pikmin. And I really, really like the looks of these bosses. They are just super cool to look at, like the final boss and how its presentation is. So hard. Why is there flowers in the desert? Shouldn't it be like more of a rock or something? I'm not really sure about that. The burning snaggers are cool looking. The armor cannonball especially. That is a sick looking enemy. The Puffstool is kind of eh. Mamuta is bad. Gulix is... I don't care much for its design. And the Smoky Prog is a bitch. And they all have varying attacks, so you need to find their weak spots to beat them efficient. And that is really fun to like find out what is the best way to take them down. I'm sure I did not have the best possible route to take all of them down. Because if you're not cautious, some of these will take down your entire team. If you haven't guessed, the bosses I like them a lot, so they get 1 star. In my humble opinion, world building is quite simply the most important part of any video game. After gameplay and story, of course. So I guess it's the 3rd most important thing. And the world in this game is at first glance not really fleshed out. It's kind of boring. You don't get any backstory on anything. But that is where the end slate logs comes in. Because if you take your time to read those, oh boy, it makes you look at the Pikmin and Olimar in a new light. Yes, before you say anything, I was not sure if I should put this here or under the characters. But since this made me look at the game with new eyes and look at the world with new eyes, I decided to put them here. All the info, Pikmin... Pikmin looking at Olimar as a father figure. He discusses if he is an invasive species. Would the world be peaceful without him? Comments about him being a finner. The history of the Hocotations. And funny remarks about his boss, to mention some. That made me go from 3/4 of a star to 1 star. The world receives 1 star. It doesn't really matter how good looking the game is or how good the story is if you don't enjoy playing it. If you don't enjoy playing the game, there's no reason to do anything. You just throw the game away. Just like that. And to be frank, this game is hella fun. But it can be frustrating, especially through the Pikmin sometimes stupid AI. For some reason, invincible enemies, I'm not sure why. It just frustrated me sometimes during the Let's Play. However, I was always looking forward to record every single episode of this series. And when I did not have a recording that went as according to plan, I will redo it to get a better result, because I wanted this to be a good series, because I enjoyed playing the game. And I want to throw away my excitement onto you. And I was kind of sad that the adventure ended. But like I said, sometimes it was a bit too frustrating. So I have to deduct something, so it only gets 3/4 of a star. Now it's time to do the math. Alright, take the number, take that number and multiply by the second and find the sign of the degree between number 4 and 5 and finally divide that number of the electrons in unum septium, and we get the final verdict of 7.5 stars out of 10. I had to deduct some stars out of the kind of non-existent story, since you never feel any threat of not being able to get back home because you have plenty of time. Yeah, some new players probably going to have a hard time against the final boss or something, but you don't need all the parts to get back home. Oh, Omar, do you hear me? You do not need your life savings. Or do you? And don't even get me started on the Pikmin AI. But this is kind of nitpicking, because the game looked phenomenal and it's very interesting and fun to hear about Olmar's discoveries and his family and origin and all that jazz. The enemies are varied and the bosses are fun to deal with, and the excellent music composed by Hajime Wakai just make this game what it is. I listen to these songs, like I said, when doing homework and stuff. Awesome. But yeah, that is my final thoughts on this game. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all soon. Please remember to do some YouTube stuff if you enjoyed this review type of things. Leave some feedback on what I can do different, what I can do better, what was bad, what was good. And I hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Bye!